of perception, we may understand the nature of reality. And we're going to talk more about that today. But as far as perception, a lot of us seem to forget that we are not our eyes, we are not our ears, we're not our brain. These are literally just sensory, I guess, information collectors, for lack of a better term. When we have the ability to perceive something, we have to understand that when we're perceiving it, it is literally done through a process of sensory information input. And what I mean by that is, let us say that you're looking at something. Well, to look at something, looking is really a verb. I hope everyone knows what a verb is. But looking is really a verb. And looking, the act of looking incorporates a lot of different dynamics that are involved in how you're perceiving what you're seeing. For example, let us just state the obvious, that when we are looking at something, we are looking at light. That's all vision is light, and light that is collected in the back of the retina. And in the back of the retina, the brain turns it into some kind of a signal and puts it into our brain, and then our brain tries to decipher it and collect the information and relates it to our past experiences and our past knowledge in order for us to kind of get a grasp of what we're seeing. So that's just with vision. The same goes with sound. When we're hearing things, when we hear someone talk, you're listening to my voice speaking right now, but the reality of your perception is that the action of your perception is that you're hearing vibration that is literally just reverberating sound off your eardrum, which is then creating a nervous system reaction that creates an audio reaction that creates a brain reaction. So we see how the dynamic of our body is incorporated, and our sensory organs are incorporated into our perception. And it astounds me so many times, and this is one of the main reasons why I felt reality versus perception was an important topic, is that so many, and unfortunately or fortunately at this time in our planet, there are still a majority of people who believe everything they see, believe everything they hear, believe everything that they were taught, and that becomes reality for them. But the dynamic of that reality is never really quite understood. How did it become a reality? Well, it becomes a reality through our perception. And many of us really don't think about that. How do the thoughts work? How does our electro stimulus in the brain create the information to help us come to a conclusion that something is real or not real? To simplify it, I will say that no matter what experience you're going through, that's real for you. For you. It doesn't make it truth, but it's real. So it is your reality. Yeah. But without that functioning and that understanding of, okay, because really the reality of it is, how many times do we, a great example, a very good example for those of us like myself and you and Trevor and all of us at GIC is, we're very much into energy. We're very much into the experience of meditation or the experience of contemplation. And we're always talking about, oh, did you feel that energy, or I felt that energy? Well, what is the perception of that? What's the sensation that we're feeling? Where is it coming from? And why are we perceiving it the way that we're perceiving it? And what makes it positive or negative are all strictly our singular realities that we perceive. So in other words, I always say I had a download, and I had a big download yesterday, I will say. So let me use that for an example. Let me just use that for an example. For my perception of a download, and when I say a download to those that are listening, I'm basically discussing my guides, the emissaries of light, when they are sending energy or information into me. It happened to me just about an hour ago. You should see my blackboard was empty, and now it's covered with notes. And I'm like, where is this coming from? Well, I'm channeling, but the sensation of channeling is, again, my own perception. How am I perceiving it? Well, I'm perceiving it for me, and I'm going to try to, this is funny, I wasn't planning on talking about this. Thanks a lot, guys. Not you, them. My guys. The dynamics of channeling, I wasn't planning on this. But for me, when I'm downloading or channeling information, I immediately get a sensation in a tingly feeling in my body. It's like, and then all of a sudden, I get a feeling of lightness. And when I say I get a feeling of lightness, it's like any stress that I might have had in my chest, because a lot of us carry our stress in our chest or our neck, is all lightened up. My muscles become very relaxed. So I start to perceive that, okay, I'm perceiving a tingling, I'm perceiving a lightness in my chest, and then all of a sudden I feel this overwhelming sense of happiness or joy or love. You know, and again, I'm using adjectives, so it's hard to say how we perceive these things. But to describe it as a feeling of love and understanding and compassion, it's a very soothing feeling that I'm getting. And then what happens is it's almost as if, gosh, I don't even know how to explain. Now I'm going to get into challenge. It's going to be very hard to talk about. It's almost as if someone is putting a thought in my brain of, okay, this is what you've been doing. Well, this is what you need to do now. And it's almost like that aha moment, that epiphany that we all talk about, that epiphany moment of, oh, I get it, now I get it. And it's like the blockages of the mental stream that might have been there before are removed all of a sudden. It may be for a short while or a long while. So it all depends. But my perception of it is that all of a sudden my consciousness, and what I mean my consciousness, again, well, let's just say my focus and my attention are completely drawn out of wherever it was, whether it was in my thoughts or whether it was on the computer, is deterred from what is presently happening. And then the focus and the attention are brought into the thoughts that are coming through my brain. So then I focus a little differently on what I'm seeing. So that's my perception of channeling, and I hope I didn't confuse too many people. I know I just got confused a little bit.
No. It's fascinating to hear how it happens and things for people that don't know how to do it.
Oh, good. Thank you.
It's fascinating for me.
But so yeah, you're for, like I said, and everybody has that experience differently. I'm not saying mine's the only way or anything like that. And let me also precurse everything that, you know, we always say question everything. So question everything, whatever resonates with you, take it. If it doesn't, then leave it. But that's basically how perception works on the sensory level. Like, how am I sensing it? How is this